Yo, what's shaking, AC?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just drinking my coffee here.
Love the mug. What do you love? Franchising? I love franchising.
Oh, I love franchising. It's my favorite.
Sounds like a dog. You want to go for a walk? That's my favorite. You want
Yeah,
to eat? That's my favorite.
yeah. Now, all kidding aside, I have this mug. It was a gift from the Canadian Franchise Association. Shout out to them, the CFA. And I actually purposely leave it on my desk because I've got like glass. I'm like in a fishbowl here. My
Okay.
And so people can go by and see like I love franchising. So maybe I can get some business from it.
All right.
But all kidding aside, I what I don't like about it is I don't want it to seem like I push franchising. I think if anything, I probably turn more people away from franchising. Can you believe that I get people that I get on calls with who want to franchise their business and I ask them what's their motivation? And I've heard things like, I want a more passive income. They want to sit back. Yeah. Yeah. You're a franchisor, so you know how funny that sounds. The other one is, I'm tired of people and dealing with the staff.
Oh,
I'm like, oh,
oh,
it's only going to get worse when the people have invested their life savings and are counting on you to help them be profitable.
yeah. Yeah. It's like a totally separate business. You think you've got like a location that's working and then you just want to franchise it. It's not like step and repeat. You put something in the photocopier, it goes. Like this is a whole other business. You end up going home and eating your emotions on a regular basis.
Yeah. Have you done that lately?
Yeah, actually, I had an entire chicken today.
Oh, yeah.
I was hungry. I just needed chicken. You know those greasy ones on the rotisserie at the store. Ugh.
Is that kind of like when you like get really sad and you like grab a spoon and you eat like a tub of ice cream?
I guess so. I mean, I don't usually do that. For me, it's always chicken.
Yeah. So today, this is what I had. This wasn't very comfort food for me today. My Greens Daily Dose of blended for you smoothie. Yeah, it was.
Smoothie in a bag.
Yeah, it was good. It's getting me through. But I think with this whole talk about chicken, I might have to go home and find some rotisserie chicken as well.
Your food looks like what my food eats.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I gotta ramp that up. But anyway, we're here to rant. You want to
Yeah,
rant?
let's rant.
You want to rant about unit economics?
Oh my God, I love unit level economics. It's my favorite thing.
Unit economics is my favorite.
Hmm.
Well, it's something that I don't think people quite understand. I think they get it, but when I speak to early franchisors, I often find some gaps. So maybe I'll talk about that in a minute, but let's start with you as a franchisor. You've got about 23 franchises, largest VR franchise in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So what's your take on, I'll just say that, what's your take on unit economics?
Well, I think first thing that people get confused is that word economics, and they think it means numbers. So unit level numbers, that's not the case. Economics is how the numbers interact with each other. How much you should have in terms of operating expenses, in terms of cost of goods sold, et cetera, to make your business model work the way the franchisor designed it. And what happens if you change it, right? Like if you change your marketing spend from $100 to $200 to $300, a linear spend, that doesn't mean that your revenue will grow linearly. It could grow exponentially. It could stay flat. That's the nature of economics as you'd have it, right? So I think that's a lot of times what the confusion is. Somebody says, know your unit level economics, and they're like, okay, I know my numbers. No, that's not the same, at least not in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I think that's been a bit of the thing that I've been trying to figure out is what are people thinking when they think of unit economics? And where I see a big gap is that exactly that. And I always tell people that you need to know, I put it in the perspective of like percentages of sales. So like you need to know for each thing that you're just to simplify it right down, each thing the franchisee is spending money on, what percentage of sales should they be spending? What amount should they be spending as a percentage of sales? So for example, what's your labor percent? When I was a franchisee, our goal at M&M, if we were working in the business, we knew we could get our labor down to 7% of sales.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our target. If we were adding ourselves in as labor. If not, then it was maybe more like, 10 or 12% or whatever it was, because we were superhumans. But knowing each of those things, and what should you be spending on marketing? What percentage on maybe education or, travel or whatever those other things are, and so is that something you guys put a lot of attention to actively?
Well, yeah, actually that raises a question that I have for you is, how should a franchisee know what their unit level economics should be, in your opinion, from your experience? Because I have my own opinions, of course.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I get asked that question all the time. And actually that's a good point that a thing I should throw in here is that it can take time. One unit alone typically doesn't give you enough of the picture, in my opinion, because there's variables.
Mm-hmm.
But you can we've talked, you and I have worked on this together, where you can normalize some of the variables and say, for example, if a franchisor opened a business and the rent is really high and they realize now that they didn't need to be in that prime location, that they probably could have been in a B location, or they didn't need that much space.
Yeah.
And so, okay, if I were to do this again, I would make this a smaller physical space, so my rent would be lower. That would be the targeted rent that I'd be going for, getting that figured out. So I think it starts with the franchisor should be looking at their corporate location. And I think that they should, I always tell my clients early on to take out royalties of their corporate business so that they can feel what it does to the bottom line, and ad fund and whatever other ongoing fees. I think we're probably, looks like you're going to say the same thing, because you're like,
yeah.
So like get that template of like, take out, if you're running like a bunch of like entertainment through the business, take that out if it doesn't apply to what a franchisee would need to spend money on to be profitable in the business, right? So get it like to what should be in there, figure out those percentages to the best of your ability, start there, and then as you grow more units, kind of check if if things are making sense. How did I do? Did I pass?
I think you nailed it. Yeah, A+, gold star. No, I completely agree with you. I love franchising. The unit level economics need to be determined by the franchisor through trial and error, through one location, through 10 locations, whatever it is. And then when they sell a franchise to a prospect, that prospect should know that these are what the percentages should look like, more or less, given other exterior variables that might affect, your demographic, your psychographics of your customers, etc. And then you work within those parameters. And that franchisor, before they start franchising, they got to see, how viable is this from a financial perspective?
Yeah.
If you're in a business that has
kind of important, right?
Oh my God, yeah. If you've created a business, or you're in an industry that has really thin margins, like food and beverage or whatever it is, and you're only bringing in 7%, and you're happy with that, right? Let's say 7% gives you like $100,000 salary. This is awesome. I'm going to go franchise. Every one of you new franchisees, you're going to bring in $100,000 at 7%. Oh, by the way, I'm going to charge you a 7% royalty. I'm not charging myself that. Next thing you know, they're just breaking even, and it isn't feasible, right? So your unit level economics have to be, as a franchisor, in my opinion, at least, they got to be great for you, so that your business is survivable. But when you factor in all these other things, they got to be great for your franchisee. And if the franchisee has other things that stick in or out, maybe this month had like an extra entertainment expense or something, just like you said, you got to normalize this stuff to see if your business is operating efficiently, if your numbers are efficient, and if you're in the process of selling it, doing a resale or whatever. That's kind of what you're looking at. You're not going to say, well, my business is worth $10 when it's really actually worth $100, because you're including that one time that you.
Or it's like you're running a boat through the business, or
yeah.
And they're like, I'm not making any money. Like, I love those ones, right?
I know. I don't know what else to do with all my boats.
Yeah, my extra convertible cars. So the one big action step I really recommend people be doing more of, because I guess, one pain point I see a lot is that when it comes to the profit and loss statement, which is where you're going to start as the analysis of whether or not they're matching and meeting the goal unit economics, that template of percentages.
Yeah.
Collecting P&Ls from franchisees is a nightmare. So that'll be a topic for another day, how you can foster that and build that into your system, which I know you guys have a great way of doing that. So we'll talk about that another day.
All right.
2.0 or 3.0 or something like that. But, I think a lot of franchisors are like, I don't know how do I guide the franchisee? And so what I tell them is sit down with them, whether that's on a Zoom video call or in person, if you're small enough and they're close by, and go through the items and say, like, okay, you spent a lot of money on this, or what happened here? Like, check. And I think you told me that you did that, and you found that you had a franchisee that was, and maybe didn't know any better, but they were spending all this money on a cleaning person when they could have had their staff doing that and wasting money.
Yeah, I mean, my official title is CFO, which stands for Chief Bean Counter. But if ever a franchisee has a question about money or finances or numbers or anything like that, I'm always available to them 100%. And I've always offered them, listen, if you guys want to do a profit and loss analysis and go through and try to normalize your statements and have me explain to you what the unit level economics of your business should be, how it's valued, what EBITDA means.
Okay, we've got to go because we're at the end here.
Okay. I'll explain EBITDA later.
Yeah. Let's save EBITDA for the next time. But yeah, the point is sit down with them. And my recommendation would be, I know this sounds like, yeah, in a perfect world, great, but really there's a lot of value if you can get them on a monthly schedule of doing that. So if you can start that before, like when they first become a franchisee, you're golden.
Yeah, totally. Dig it, 100%.
All right, awesome. Well, let's wrap up the rant. Hopefully you don't have to go eat any more chicken. You're good.
I'm good for now. We'll see how long this lasts.
Let's try to keep your emotions in check, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. You say it or am I saying it?
Well, let's both say it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Go be awesome.
We didn't even think out.
Okay.